Hi everyone, it's Avi Woolman. I'm a real estate advisor with Engel and Volkers. We are located in South Charlotte, North Carolina, and I'm here live with another video about real estate. And this time I am going to talk about real estate investments. This will be for you. This video is for you whether you're renting and you're thinking about buying your first home, or if you already own a home and you're thinking about investing in real estate. I'm going to talk about what are the benefits of owning a real estate investment, whether it's rental property or other types of investments, but I will focus on rental properties today. And also the benefits of real estate is not just for investors, it's also for people that buy their first home or primary residence. So let's jump right into it. First of all, this is part of the American dream. Home ownership is part of the American dream. And even though I'm not originally American, ever since I was a kid, this was my dream to own a home. So it's got a big role in the American dream, home ownership. It gives you stability and eventually financial independence. But let's jump right into the benefits of owning a real estate property, whether it's a home that you're going to live in or whether you're going to rent it out as an investment. So the first benefit of owning a real estate investment is cash flow. So if you are buying, for example, a rental property and you're renting it to a tenant, the net income that you are getting every month after you're paying your mortgage payment and all the operating expenses, it's called cash flow. And cash flow is one of the major benefits of owning a real estate investment. And the longer you hold the real estate property, the higher the cash flow gets. It gets stronger and stronger, and cash flow also helps you build your equity, which is part of your net worth. So equity is the difference between the value of your home and what you owe on the home. So if you want to estimate what is your equity, which is big part of your net worth, you take the mortgage balance or the loan that you have and you deduct it from the market value of the house that you're trying to figure out your equity at. Over time, the more you're paying off your mortgage payments, the bigger your equity gets, and then that's a good thing. That's why we're always saying, when you buy real estate, hold it. The longer you're holding it, the more equity you're building, and that's good for your net worth and building your wealth and financial independence eventually. So the first thing we were saying was cash flow, and that's obviously we're talking about an investment property and not a primary residence. It's properties that you have some kind of income from it. So that's the cash flow. And the second advantage of real estate is appreciation. And appreciation is when naturally the value of real estate increases with time, and we've seen it over history. It's always, home prices always go up. We do have market cycles where sometimes prices are up and then they go down and then they go up again. But over the long run, real estate value is going up with time, which also, again, going back to equity, this is a big word. When you have appreciation on one hand, when the value of your home goes up with time, and on the other hand, you're paying off your mortgage, which means your mortgage goes down, your equity goes up with both of these factors. So appreciation is also a big part of why your net worth is growing, because your equity is growing because of appreciation. It helps the equity to grow. Okay, so that is number 2. Number 3 are the tax benefits that you have when you own real estate. So tax benefits is basically when you own a property, any reasonable cost of operating, owning, and managing that property is tax deductible. So that will reduce your tax bill when the time comes to pay your taxes, and that's a big advantage. There's also another tax break for North Carolina on your primary residence. It's called the capital gain tax break. So we're talking about the primary residence. It's not for investments. It works only on primary residence. You need to live there, I think, 2 years. Basically, North Carolina, when you have a capital gain of $500,000, you have a tax rate on that amount if you're married. So what is capital gain? If you buy a house for $200,000 and sell it for $700,000, that profit of $500,000 is your capital gain. It is the difference between the price you sell your home and the price that you bought it for. So that profit is tax-free if it's your primary residence and if you're married. If you're not married, single gets $250,000 tax break. So that's another advantage of owning versus renting, for example. So that's the number 3. We had cash flow, appreciation, tax benefits. And number 4 is inflation. We all know that products and services go up in price with time. I think the average is 2 or 3% per year. I might be wrong on that. So when you own real estate as opposed to owning just cash, that fights, or basically, I don't have the right word, but that is good against inflation, because when you have $100 today, that $100 will not have the same power of spending in 10 years as it is now. So owning cash loses the value of it if it stays in cash. That's why we need to invest it in real estate or in other investments in order to grow that value of that cash. Okay, so that's inflation. Leverage is when we use other people's money in order to grow our return on investment. So when we buy, for example, when we put 20% down payment in order to own 100% of the house, that's leverage. That means we are using the other 80% of it, we're using other people's money. So we're using a mortgage or a loan, and that is a good thing. A lot of times when most investors use financing in order to buy real estate investment, because there's a big advantage. You can get more return on your investment when you use leverage. And so these are the 6 benefits that I wanted to talk about with real estate investments. Of course, there are drawbacks of owning real estate. Once you put the money in real estate, it's not liquid. It's not like the money is sitting in the banks. So we always recommend to keep some cash for emergency as liquid money, so you can use it if you need it. And another drawback of real estate is, you have to manage it, and there's a lot of unpredicted expenses with owning real estate. So how do you find where to invest? Like, how do you find the right market to invest in it? So the way we are looking at different markets and knowing where is the right market to invest in real estate in it is 3 things. Migration. So if people are moving to their state or the city, for example, in Charlotte, North Carolina is where we are, we have a big migration. A lot of people move to Charlotte. It's been chosen the number 3 best city to live in, and it is growing about 100 people per day. I think it was 50,000 people last year that moved to Charlotte, North Carolina, or maybe it was North Carolina, but North Carolina is one of the states that investors are looking to invest in real estate because of many reasons, but one of the reasons is because it's growing. The second reason is if are people going to be employed here? You have to check if in the market that you want to invest, are people employed there? So you look at the unemployment rate, and you also look at major companies that are located in that state or city. And so we know that in North Carolina there are 13 Fortune 500 companies, which means there's more jobs here, and that's part of the reason why people move here. Another reason to invest in a specific area is, like I mentioned, cash flow. You want to make sure that there is positive cash flow. So you need to look at sales price to rent ratio, and that needs to work. And so we always say, it's all a game of numbers. Basically any property could work if for a certain amount of money, if for the right price, it could work. It just the numbers have to work. So there are two ways of investing in real estate that I want to talk about today. Is in residential is one of them is flipping, and it's basically you buy a house that needs a lot of work, you do a lot of work to it, and then you sell it for a profit. And I don't really like that way of investing, because once you make the money, it's finished, it's gone, you're done. I prefer rental investments. That's what we've been doing here in Charlotte, North Carolina, because it's a long term, and it provides you with cash flow for a long time, as long as you want to hold it. We get a lot of requests for investing in real estate in Charlotte, North Carolina now, for all the reasons that I mentioned. Also, the weather here is good. People want to move to here because also you can get more for your money here when you compare it to places like New York and Los Angeles and Massachusetts. So this is a good place. People want to live here. And so people always ask me, especially now because prices are up now, we are in a market cycle. Right now it seems like the prices are up. We're getting multiple offers on every house, and houses are selling for over listing price, and because the inventory is very low, and so buyers are having a little bit difficult time now, and a lot of investors do not want to overpay when they buy an investment property, and they are always asking, is it the right time, or should we wait until maybe prices will go down in the future? And obviously I always say we don't know what's going to happen in the future. We only know what's going on now. There are always good deals to be found. It's just a game of math. It's just a game of numbers. You can find a good deal even in this market, which is a seller's market in Charlotte. And there's another thing that we always say, don't wait to buy real estate. Buy real estate and wait, because the benefits of real estate is holding it to the long term, because like I said, all these things are, real estate is not going to make you money in the short term. You're not going to get rich overnight, but it's a long-term kind of game. So that was that's what I wanted to talk about. And of course, investing in real estate is not for everyone. Obviously, you have to have the emergency fund that I was talking about before. You gotta make sure you have enough cash for emergency before you invest or before you buy. And you need to have, a good salary, a good job, stability, because it is expensive to buy homes, and it's expensive to invest, and there's always unpredictable things that can come up. But overall, I love investing in real estate. Have been doing this for a few years, and we love it here. We love living here, and we love investing in here. It's a great place to live and invest, Charlotte, North Carolina. So I'm always advertising Charlotte, North Carolina, because it's a great city. So if you have any comments or questions, or if you want to chat, or if you're renting right now and thinking about buying your first home, I will be happy to sit down with you and help you, guide you through the process of buying a home. And thank you so much for watching, and have a great day. Thank you.